Hey guys, have I got a video for you? The long-awaited number 23 video, which all my subs will know. The number 23 means spiritual possession. And when I show you this video, you're going to understand why it's important and why the Holy Spirit wants us to be aware of these numbers and these spells that they're trying to cast over humanity. You're not even going to believe the stuff that is uncovered in this video. It's absolutely amazing. This video is going on YouTube, so there is no video clip of the movie at the end. I do have still images of the movie, which are in here, but if you want to see the video section, which I highly suggest you watch it, I will leave the link in the description below to where you can go see that. I'm going to try and upload the complete version to Rumble and Odysee, but I will also upload just the movie section for those of you who watch it here and just want to go catch the movie section on another site. I tried many times to get the movie section up onto YouTube, and they're just not having it. I edited it as much as I possibly could, and they still aren't allowing it. If I edit it anymore, it's going to lose its value. So I will upload the original edit so that you guys can see that. Just look in the description for the links. Again, I highly suggest watching the movie section after you watch this, because there's a lot more in it. And it shows the progression of the insanity that comes through this number. I will say that the movie section, some parts, some people may find disturbing. I tried to clip out anything bad that I thought would be disturbing, but it is a movie about going insane and a psychotic man. But I just wanted to give people a heads up on that. I also shared a lot of things I ran into while making this video. I ran into so many 23s in my own life while making this video that I had to share them with you, because the things that were coming to me were absolutely crazy. It was almost unbelievable. Anyways, I got a lot to share with you. And this video is pretty lengthy, but it had to be, because I have to show you how this number acts and the power of it to those who are without Christ. So, buckle up and get ready for the number 23. As we get closer to the end, the truth will become more and more precious, and the people that hold it will have a great responsibility, because the world will reject what they have to say, persecute, hunt them down, and kill them. These truths are hard, and it takes a certain kind of person led by God to bring these truths to the surface. So choose you this day whom ye will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Welcome. This is the intro to the movie. I just took screenshots because it all goes by pretty quick. So there are 23 letters in the Latin alphabet. Hiroshima was on August 6, 1945. 8 for August, 6, 1, 9, 4. Now they do -5. They're actually minusing numbers as well, which is something I never do. So I don't know if I should start doing this, but all I'm saying is that they're showing a new format here, or at least new to me. So numbers could be even deeper than we actually understand. As I said, I'm not into numerology. I don't look into this stuff. I just show what the Holy Spirit tells me to show. So this equals 23. The Knights Templar had 23 Grand Masters. King Charles I was beheaded January 30th, 1649. The 30th plus 1649 is 23. The Witches' Sabbath is June 23rd. June is 6. 6 is 2 times 3, 23. I'm just thinking right now, this is also another way that 5 and 6 are the same. I'm always saying 555 is 666, right? Because 5 is the Roman numeral V, and V is 6 in the Hebrew alphabet. And 555 feet is 6,660 inches. 5.5 feet is 66 inches. Okay, so 5 equals 6. But here's another way 5 can equal 6, because 2 plus 3 is 5, and 2 times 3 is 6. Just throwing that in there. Shakespeare was born and died on April 23rd. April is 4, IV. Shakespeare also first published in 1623. The Titanic sank the morning of April 15th, 1912. 4 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9 plus 1 plus 2 is 23. TWA Flight 800, 230 people died. 23. The explosion occurred in seats 23J and 23K. George Herbert Walker Bush contains 23 letters. William Jefferson Clinton contains 23 letters. Franklin Delano Roosevelt contains 23 letters. Might be interesting to run through the rest of the presidents and see if this applies to any of the other ones. December 11th, 1941, the U.S. declared war on Germany. 12 plus 11 is 23. This one's kind of backwards, but this is saying Hitler killed himself in April 1945, which we know is not true, but that is the narrative. So 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 5, 23. Terrorists attack Marine barracks in Beirut, October 23, 1983. 241 soldiers killed. 24 minus 1 is 23. Caesar was stabbed a total of 23 times. The Mayans believed the end of the world would occur on December 23rd of the year 2012. Charles Manson was born on November 12th. 11 and 12 is 23. Revelation 9:11 plus 2 plus 1 is 23. 9 plus 11 is 20. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Illuminati, 1723 AD. Pretty funny how they put this in red, right? I find it very interesting because Jesus' words are in red. Psalm 23. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Psalm 23, which is also in I Pet Goat. Barbarians invaded Rome, August 23rd, 410. There are more reported UFO sightings on July 23rd than any other day. July is 7, so this is 237. The Cage of the Beast, 5G. The Medicine, okay? Because is also 57. And this is just the intro.
Yeah, we spent a lot on this kitchen.
Oh, yeah, really high-end stuff.
Sorry, that's our ghosts. Sorry, that's our ghosts.
Yeah, okay.
It's more annoying than anything.
Too bad there's mold behind the backsplash. This mold. Guess how much I originally paid for this fireplace? $23. 23 bucks. Materials and labor.
So it's very interesting that he's saying that the fireplace cost 23 bucks, and I will tell you why. In my Christmas video, you will know that I had put in that 101 is the doorway to the Antichrist, and this scripture, John 10:1, which is 101, which is why they use this number, says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. So climbeth up some other way, as I said in the Christmas video, would be like a chimney, so that he can come down the fireplace. Well, the word bucks is 56. That's 11, which is 101. So here you can see that they're saying spiritual possession 23 coming through the fireplace or another doorway 101. This stuff is crazy, and it's everywhere.
You got bamboozled. You got bamboozled.
Yes, they did.
In Washington, D.C., there are 23 major zodiacs. There are 23 major zodiacs in that city, more than any other city in the world. One other thing you're going to love, I don't think it's not on this map. In the earliest plat of Washington, D.C., all the lots are numbered, except one. You get up to 665, and then it jumps to 667, 668. So what's missing? 666. 666. And guess what sits on that lot today? The capital of the United States. Now, it's accepted by historians that the French Revolution was fomented by the Illuminati. George Washington, big Masonic. So they're passing along the ancient mysteries through Freemasonry. By the way, if you think that the Illuminati is just something you can laugh at and just some kind of boogaboo, here's a letter in 1782 from George Washington where he said, "It was not my intention to doubt that the doctrines of the Illuminati had not spread to the United States. On the contrary, no one is more fully satisfied of that fact than I am." These guys knew more about what was going on than we do today with all our modern technology and all our electronic communication.
So, when I was doing the research and taking notes on the movie, the number 23, I was doing a project and I had hired one of my friends to help me out. And at lunchtime, he went to McDonald's to get food. And when he came back, he said, "Look at this." He said McDonald's is calling itself WickDonald's. And they had flipped the golden arches upside down to make a W. I could not believe it, because W is 23. And they also had a comic book on the bag with all these 23s. Grab the McNuggets. WickDonald's sauce. The legends are true. It's the sauce of destiny. The comic says, "Team, the package is finally here. Assemble." Now, I want you to keep in mind that W is 23, which is spiritual possession. And we all know that McDonald's is not serving real food. We know what kind of things they're serving up. So keep in mind what's being said here. Just think of a demonic place trying to spiritually possess people when I read this stuff to you. Team, the package is finally here. Assemble. What package? The Antichrist is finally ready to come on the scene? So we got to turn the world upside down and have our 23 demonic possession? The legends are true. It's the sauce of destiny. What's in the sauce? McDonald's sauce, grab the nuggets. It's as bold as true love. Its spice is so tender, yet brings me to tears of joy. All new McDonald's sauce is inspirationally good, savory, spicy, tangy, and mouth-watering. Perfect with McDonald's sauce. Have some Wick Nuggets. It's the sauce of power. Are you kidding me? It's the sauce of bliss. The world's never tasted a sauce so true. It's the sauce of comfort. Oh, this makes me sick. I must mask my true excitement to maintain my mysterious lore. Hey, where'd mine go? I must mask my true excitement to maintain my mysterious lore. Doesn't that sound like something the Antichrist getting ready to come on the scene would say? I must mask my true excitement to maintain my mysterious lore? Unbelievable. These are some of the characters. And I've actually opened up the web page, so we'll look at this a little bit deeper. But yeah, this is happening all while I'm doing this show. Not recording it, because I'm recording it now, but when I was doing all the research and watching the movie and taking the notes and taking clips, this is what was happening in the world. McDonald's had turned into WickDonald's. Okay, these are signs from the heavens. What I mean by that is God had me making this video at a time when these things were going to be taking place so that when I was putting it together, I would see all this stuff. So on today.com, we are reading about why McDonald's flipped its M to become WickDonald's. Now, how ironic that I'm doing this video on the number 23. And right here it says, see what Shop Today editors are loving. 23 Amazon finds to shop from $6. You can't make this stuff up, you guys. This is nuts. The new name also comes with a new sauce. And we're going to talk about the sauce in a little bit. So, February 26th, the fast food chain launched a manga-inspired makeover embracing the upside-down golden arches featured in some of anime's most iconic movies and shows, where it is cheekily known as WickDonald's. Now, just keep in mind WickDonald's. I'm going to scroll down. I don't need to read you all this. Here's a image from the cartoon. It's all about mixing McDonald's with manga. I guess, I don't know a lot, but from what I've read, in manga cartoons, they have McDonald's, but they call it WickDonald's. So WickDonald's thought it would be fun to, I don't know, make WickDonald's. So, it's starting February 26th until March 18th, and it's called WickDonald's. So, I have made a notepad. Starts on 2/26/2024. You got a 2 here, a 2 here, and a 2 here. That's 6. You got a 2 here and a 4 here. That's 6. And then, of course, you have the 6. That's 666. Okay, it ends on 3/18/2024. 322. That's Skull and Bones. Then you have a 4 and a 1, which equals 5, and the 8 is left, which is 58. Skull and Bones, Rise of the Antichrist. Okay? It starts out with the number of the beast, and ends with Skull and Bones and the rise of the Antichrist through secret societies. Just think about that for a minute. W by itself is 23. If we add up the rest of the numbers without the W, it's 72, which is 66 plus 6. Okay? This is nuts. Let me show you the home page. So this is the WickDonald's homepage. This is all the characters they made up. just type wickdonalds.com if you want to look at it further. But they have little comics, which I've read all of them. But the one I want to show you is the fantasy one. And the name of it is The Wisdom of the Sauce. Now, when I show you this, I want you to remember that W is 23. That's spiritual possession, okay? And the sauce is the big deal, okay? That's what the biggest deal about McDonald's is. It's all about this sauce. Now, imagine, if you will, that the sauce has something in it that many people were putting into their bodies in the last few years. Something I refer to as the medicine. And I'm going to read you this, and just imagine that the sauce has the medicine in it, which will lead you to spiritual possession. Right? The wisdom of the sauce. If you are possessed by a spirit, you are going to have this false wisdom. Whatever the fallen entity that is possessing you knows and understands, the wisdom of that entity will be in you. You will have the wisdom of the sauce. A distant land. Mayor. Court, Bev, what's the rush? We finally found them. The ones you've been looking for. So he's showing him on his Black Mirror device. Notice he's the one-eyed shepherd. Okay? Here's a burglar to steal things. And the mayor, this is the mayor. He says, I see. So they are the heroes of the prophecy. Okay, so they're looking at these 3 women or girls back at McDonald's. The last time we'll have McDonald's sauce. I wish it never had to go. I'll miss it. So the sauce is going away, and they're going to miss having it. Okay, just keep in mind what I said it is, and just understand the underlying implications that are being laid out here. Just don't be hasty. We need to savor this last one. Shiori, Demi, and Mia. I don't know how you say that name. A distant land. How do you bring people from another world here? That's easy. We use the power of the sauce. So they want to bring people through a portal, right? And they're going to use the power of the sauce. What's left of it, at least. When our feelings for the sauce become one. Very interesting. Sounds like a little possession going on here. I'll never forget you, McDonald's sauce. I already want more. Why does it have to go? Okay, this seems like the controllers who want to put the sauce in you, right? And these people from another dimension are trying to bring these people in so that they can have more sauce. Watch this. The gate will open, right? So he's using the sauce, which they put right in his forehead, to open a gateway to the human world. What's happening? They're being teleported or sent into possession. Where are we? Now they're brought into this other realm. They've crossed over. What's this? What's going on? A dream. This has to be a dream, right? We were just at McDonald's. Someone's coming. Hello. Welcome to our city, Demi, Shiori, Mia. What? How do you know our names? Maybe we just forgot we met. So they're a little nervous. You can see they're sweating, right? You'd be nervous too if you were getting spiritually possessed and someone knew your name that you never met. Here she is trying to rationalize it. Heroes? Us? This has to be some kind of mistake. What could the 3 of us ever do? Look at, so they possessed them with the sauce, brought them into their realm, and look at, they put them on thrones. Okay? Revelation 16, 13, and 14. I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles. 3 unclean spirits. They've taken the sauce and now they're possessed. You're the ones destined to help us keep the sauce. Do you guys see how demonic this is? McDonald's sauce, you guys have it too? You're kidding, right? Somebody wake me up. You still don't believe me. Not again. I'm transforming. Again, when has this happened to you? They're transforming, right? They're becoming Agent 47, superhuman, possessed with evil spirits. I've always wanted to look this cool. I've always wanted whatever this cute companion is. Well, that cute companion's name is Cinnamon, and its birthday is 237. The Cage of the Beast, 5G. Also, the V word for medicine is also 57. So this represents the medicine and the signal that's going to imprison people into a spiritual damnation, so they'll become a vessel for the wicked kingdom. Maybe someone is pranking us. That would make sense. I say we just go along with it. So look, they don't know what to make of any of this stuff, but they're just going to go with it. Will you help us? We'll do it. Leave it to us heroes. What do you want us to do? So now they're going to do whatever this guy says, because he's given them power. I hope you can see what's happening here. In the far east is the Pyramid of Time. Go figure. You must find the sage and convince him to turn back time and replenish our beloved sauce. So they got to go to the Pyramid of Time, which is in the east, right? Ezekiel 8, they worship to the east, Easter, right? Anybody else getting the sense of Antichrist taking place here? And they want them to go to a sage. This is all witchcraft and wizardry. So we defeat the sage, got it. No, we need him on our side. The prophecy says, when the sauce is gone, 3 heroes will emerge from another world to save the land. Okay, so when the sauce is gone, once everybody's got the sauce, you guys, 3 heroes, 3 unclean spirits like Frog, the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet will emerge from another world to save this land, right? They say peace, peace, when there is no peace. Then sudden destruction comes. The 3 will join forces and head east. Oh, and look, there just happens to be a dragon. They will overcome many obstacles with their courage. Face their deepest fears. Is this a giant eagle? A phoenix? Like we just saw in the sun? And learn to follow their hearts, which are deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Once they cross the sea of fate, it really exists. It will reveal itself. So here you have a pyramid with a pyramid over it upside down. The Pyramid of Time, right? Is that him? Are you the sage of time? Look at as above, so below, right? This is a occultish symbolism. Indeed, he says. What do you seek? Yeah, you see this symbol? This is the same symbol for infinity, same symbol for monarch, same symbol if you've watched Loki for the TVA. Also, if you break off the ends, it says IXI, which is 9 IX 11 XI. Mayor William asked us to come see you. He wants you to turn back time so we don't run out of McDonald's sauce. So my brother has sent you. Brothers? It's been decades since anyone has come this far. Can you help us? Everything has a beginning and an end. You mean like the Ouroboros? Notice you have a 3 and a 4 here. 7 and then a VII. 7. 77. That's 7-Eleven, you guys. Heed my wisdom as the keeper of time. You would be wise to cherish every passing minute. What does that have to do with the sauce? Young one, only time is eternal. So they want to change the times. Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change the times and the laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and a times and the dividing of time. Can't you make the sauce eternal, or at least give us one more? Just give us one more booster. You must let go of your reliance on the sauce. Embrace that the sauce's bold, savory flavor won't last forever. Where's it going? What? Wait, what? But its memory will stay in your heart for a lifetime. Mayor, look at that. Have they done it? Oh, look, a giant W, or 23. And look, a giant X. This is so demonic. There's your 3 unclean spirits. I'm sad it's leaving, but I'm happier McDonald's sauce happened at all. This can't be. So this is what the prophecy meant. Never forget this era, for today we move forward into a world without McDonald's sauce. Gasp. It was a dream after all. Did we all have the same dream? Look at this. What do you think he means? It says, until next time. Right? The Ouroboros, the serpent eating its tail. Everything has a beginning and an end. So I hope that you can see the underlying demonic cartoon we just read. And this is what they want you to give to your children. They want you to eat their food. They want you to come to McDonald's. And it's all about this sauce. And look how they make it look like the sun. Like it's emitting light. All the ads, it's all about the sauce. Everything is about the sauce. So many of you probably already know that McDonald's doesn't even serve real food. This is not real meat. Well, it's meat, but it's not what you think, okay? I'll just say that lots of people go missing every year, never to be seen again. And you can take it or leave it, but I'm telling you. Now, they want you to bring your kids here to eat so that they can be possessed. 1 Corinthians 8:4-6 says, as concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice to idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many, but to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom all things, and we in him, and one Lord Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we by him. 1 Corinthians 10:18-22. Behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then, that the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to God. And I would not that ye should fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and the table of devils. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? So, this is food sacrificed to devils, and very likely people sacrificed to devils. And the sauce is medicine. That's why it's WickDonald's. And they're making such a big deal out of this sauce, so that people will say, oh, it's only for a limited time. I gotta run right in there and get it. This is exactly what they want you to do. This is so demonic. I can't even believe this. I mean, I can, but at the same time, I can't. I went to Panera Bread to have lunch with my mother one day during the collection of this information at 23. And our ticket number and buzzer said 23. You guys, you cannot make this stuff up. Went to Tito's, and it says get 230 points for today's purchase. 23. Severe storms incoming. 2 to 3 inches of rain. 23. Unbelievable. Once again, it has happened. Yesterday, I was cleaning one of my customer's daughters. She owns a bakery, and I clean their floors once a month on Sundays. And when I went outside to bring some stuff off the floor so that I could mop it, this truck was parked outside, and look what number is on it. This is just unbelievable. This has been happening ever since I started making this video. I've just been running into this stuff like crazy. And now that I'm editing this video, I just noticed that the percentage size of the picture down here in the right hand corner is also 23. This is crazy. I just take it as a sign that I am on the right track and the Lord wants me to put this information forward. So while still making this video, the day before yesterday I went out to lunch and ordered a Frontega chicken, and here is my order number, which if you add it up, it comes out to 23. 99 is 18, plus 2 is 20, plus 2 is 22, and 1 is 23. The next day I finished the project I was working on, and I was billing for the time and materials, and I was doing my hours per cost per hour, and this was the total it came out to for labor, $2,300. Just noticed it happened to be at 88%. But this is what I'm talking about. This has been happening to me the whole time that I've been doing this video. Now, I'm not losing my mind or going crazy. I'm just showing you that this thing is real, and it is all about possession. So today is Friday the 17th, and I'm just about done editing the 23 video. Ever since I started making this video, I am running into so many 23s. Now, I never go into the town by where I live, but today I wanted to go and sell the silver that I had because it will be worthless pretty soon. So I went and sold the silver, and while I was down there, I just happened to look across the street at this place called the Colonial Theater. And I looked up at the top of the building, which I've never looked at before, and it was established in 1923. This is just crazy. So then I started to wonder what colonial and theater would be. So check this out. COLONIAL. 81. That's 18 backwards. 666. Now I will type in theater. THEATRE. 77. That's 7-11. This place has been putting on shows, movies, things to keep people asleep and brainwashed since its inception. Now they're doing wicked and woke, disgusting shows there. They just recently had an event called Let's Sing Taylor there for a live band worshiping Taylor Swift. This place is wicked. So I just found it completely crazy that the Colonial Theater, all the numbers come out to pure wickedness, and it was established in 1923. This has been the craziest video and time period of making videos that I've had yet. So as I'm making this video, more and more things just keep coming out for me to see. So there's this TV show called Evil, and this is the final season. If we read here, it says, Evil sets final season release date. Watch the grotesquely good trailer. Well, we're not going to watch that, but I will scroll down here and show you. The supernatural drama will return on Thursday, May 23rd. Here's your 23. And May is 5, which is Lucifer's number. 5 is 2 plus 3. So you can look at this many ways. Together it says 55 Satan. The streamer announced Monday, and as the full trailer at the top of the post indicates, the pregnancy revealed at the end of season 3 is going to play a huge, very disgusting part in the show's swan song. In February, Paramount Plus announced that Evil season 4, IV, will be the last season. The final run of 14 episodes. There's your 77, right? 7-11, 9-11, which includes 4 bonus ones. So a regular season has 10 episodes. But this one, they gave 4 bonus episodes to make it 14, or 5, which is 2 plus 3. Will roll out weekly following the cancellation. So the 4 bonus episodes of season 4, IV, right? Hermes, the sickness, the cure. These episodes will roll out weekly following the cancellation. So once the show is over and come to an end, it will be reborn, so to speak, right? Just like the beast that was and is not shall be again, right? So here we have a beast that was, and at the end of the 10 episodes will not be, but then will be again with 4 bonus episodes, another shot for you to see the end of the show, wink wink. It will return or be loosed for a short season. Co-creators Robert and Michelle King said they were not planning to shop the show to other network streamers and would instead treat the 4 additional episodes as a mini season 5, a short season 23. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm trying to show you, because this just came to me last night and I thought it was amazing. So if we take a look at this one, Evil Season 4 is back with a bite in baby Antichrist. Now, don't be fooled by this. This is to mislead the world. The Antichrist is Obama, not a baby. And a dig at Elon Musk. Evil returns with its 4th and final season this week, and you won't want to miss out on all the wicked fun picking up the Antichrist arc that ended Season 3. The premiere episode offers a new theme for the show's pop-up book opening titles, indicated by the episode title, How to Split an Atom. It's all about the evils found in science. Very interesting. In the first 4 episodes released to critics, evil touches on fears over particle colliders. Very interesting. Something that's happening right now. Lax food production regulations. Yeah, like GMOs in everything. Bioengineered everything. Elon Musk's running X. And they say into the ground, but who really cares about that? Should be run into the ground. And those cute yet creepy robot dogs. So this is all stuff that's happening right now. So what they're doing is they're giving a bit of reality in this fictional series so that you will fictionalize everything that you see happening around you in reality. They're trying to put the masses to sleep.
What's in here?
Here in the new Ghostbusters, this girl looks into this room with a pane of glass where the ghosts are trapped. And you can see that the ghost's face overlays her face, insinuating spiritual possession. Now wait till you see what is holding back this ghost.
Wait, do you keep ghosts just hanging out in here? Why don't they escape?
Area of proton fields.
This is how they have the ghosts imprisoned and keeps them from escaping with this proton field that seems to be at a frequency of 23. In this scene, they're looking for someone called the Fire Master, someone who has a spirit in them that allows them to work the element fire. So, another spiritual possession living in apartment B3. B, as we all know, is 2.
Hey, man.
So I've covered 23 and Me many times, but I'll cover it again briefly because this video is about the number 23. But before I dive in, I wanted to show you this picture of their office building, 23 and Me. Notice that this is an X, which is the sign of the Antichrist, as I showed you in the video why they're calling Twitter X. Plus, you see it everywhere. Everything is turning to X. You'll also notice here that it is number 223, which is 322 backwards. Skull and Bones, the Death Society. Very interesting. Now, this 23andMe is all about Satan and his possession of you. Okay? 23 is how many chromosomes you get from your mom and from your dad. So you have a total of 46. So if you only have 23, that means you have your mother's chromosomes, but your father is the devil. Satan says me. Okay, the M-E in this company stands for Satan. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Very interesting. When I was highlighting this, I realized that John 8 would be a portal, and this is Barack Obama's presidency number 44. Ye are of your father, the devil. How interesting that the Antichrist is number 44, and so is this verse. I find that very interesting. The Bible is an amazing book. If we go to Revelation 18, verse 23, we see, "And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived." So the merchants, we learned before, are from Hermes, right? Mercury, merchants. These are the Antichrist worshippers, the followers of Lucifer, the Luciferians, the Satanists. And their sorceries, pharmakias, the medicine they give you, deceived all the nations, which snuffed out your ability to have the Holy Spirit and to get your candlelight snuffed. So when you are possessed by the dark one, and your father is the devil, then verse 23 of Revelation 18 applies to you. Matthew 6, verse 23. "But if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?" Very interesting how well Matthew 6:23 and Revelation 18:23 go together, all speaking of John 8:44, being of your father, the devil. Which brings me back to 23 and me. 23 chromosomes, because your father is the devil, half human, half demonic spirit, under possession. That's the symbolism for this. I'm not saying that when you're possessed you actually have only 23 chromosomes. That's not what I'm saying. This is what they're saying. This is the symbolism I'm showing you. So, 23andMe, they want to give you this big hustle. They want to sell you all these different things. They got all these different ways to lure people in, and now they want to show you, oh, we'll get your health tested, we'll see if you're going to get sick. We'll see what kind of genotypes you are, how susceptible you are to certain things, if maybe you'll catch an allergy later on in life. We'll tell you who your ancestors are. Just any way they can hook you, all right? They're looking to get everybody. You got your basic ancestry. You got your essential, your health and ancestry. You got your 23andMe Premium. And you got your 23andMe Total Health. $99 a month. That is insane. Here you was $9.11. Now it's $79. 7 plus 9 is 16. That's $88. Was $229, which is 4 and 9, 13. But now it's $148, 58. Also 13. Was $298. That's 19. Your Metonic cycle. Now it's $178, which is 88. Membership renews at $69 a year. There's your Artemis and Apollo. $99 a month. 9 times 11 is 99. Billed as one payment of $11,101.88. Renews at $11,88. Is it just me, or do you find this disturbing? Portals into the Antichrist and demonic possession. Know that you are in control of your DNA. Know that you're making a difference. When you opt in to participate in our research, you join forces with millions of others contributing to science. Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, Keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings, and oppositions of science falsely so called, which some professing have erred concerning the faith. Oppositions of science falsely so called. So what this is saying to you is that science is a lie. Science was created to make excuses of what you see in this realm so that you won't believe in God. Science is Satan's version of creation and what you see around you. It's created to hide God from the masses. This is why when the demonic sickness was going around, the mantra was, trust the science. And for the record, science is 58, the rise of the Antichrist. Your participation could help lead to discoveries that may one day make an impact on your own health, the health of your family, and ultimately, people around the world. Look at you go. See, they want to make you feel like you're making a difference. You're going to be part of something huge. You're going to change the world by spitting in this cup. You're going to change the world. All you got to do is spit in this cup. Biobanking. Huh? Those are two words that should never go together. Biobanking. This is a consent document. As a 23andMe customer, you have the option to have your biological specimens, including the DNA extracted from any samples stored by 23andMe or its authorized service providers, are biobank. Outside of 23andMe research, enrolling in biobanking may help you access the most up-to-date information from 23andMe through additional analysis of your stored samples. If you choose to have your samples stored, you will be agreeing to allow 23andMe to access and analyze your stored samples using the same or more advanced technologies, including the example, exome, or whole genome sequencing. This biobanking consent applies to any biological specimens, including saliva, blood, microbiome, tissue samples, etc. you provide to 23andMe in order to receive a 23andMe service or as part of 23andMe research study. So, a little while back, someone told me that they were going to force people to take the mark of the beast. And I said to them, no, God gave you free will. They can't make you take it, but they can put you in a position where you may feel forced. Like if they said, we're going to kill your family unless you take it, okay, that's not much of a choice, right? So you're going to feel forced, but you still have a choice. It might not be a choice you want to make, but it's a choice nonetheless. Okay, that's free will. They can't make you take it. And he said, well, if they can't make you take it, then no one's going to take it, because nobody would be that stupid. And I said, are you kidding me? People are already that stupid. If I had said to you 20 years ago, hey, you should put all your information in everything you do online so that the whole world can see it, you would have said to me, no way, that's stupid. Nobody would ever do that. Yet here we are with Facebook, where everybody puts all their information and posts everything about themselves because they want to. It's a CIA's dream come true. And if I had said to you 20 years ago, hey, you should just give your DNA to some random strangers so they can just have it and bank it and put it in a safe and do whatever they want with it, you would say, no way, that's crazy. Nobody would ever do that. Yet here we are. Okay? You used to have to be forced to give DNA Like if you were in a murder trial, suspected of murder, they would have to get a court order to make you produce your DNA. But now people just give it away, all willy-nilly. So when people say, oh, nobody will take the mark of the beast, I'm saying, yeah, they will. Because they'll be like, oh, I can use it for my house key or my car key, or I can put my credit cards on there. I can use it for my banking. I can use it for to test myself for fevers. I can use it to see how many steps I've taken in a day and what my heart rate was last night when I was asleep. Believe me, people are ready for all of this stuff, and these are the signs to show us that we're there. We're there. The shoe hasn't dropped, but it's being let go of and falling to the floor as I speak. Unless you withdraw your biobanking consent or close your account, your permission to keep and analyze your samples at our biobank does not expire, and 23andMe may continue to store and analyze your samples. Well, if this is anything like canceling Apple TV's trial services, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I used the trial service just so I could watch that Godzilla show they did, Monarch, and I wanted to cancel before they started charging me. And in order to cancel, I had to sign up and make an account, which I did not have to do to get the free trial. But in order to cancel the trial, they made me sign up and get an account and download iTunes in order to access a system where I could cancel my account. Can you believe that? And then I asked them to take my email off, and they said, no, we can't do that. I was so mad. So mad. But I guarantee you it's going to be something just like that in order to get out of this. Research consent document. Part of 23andMe's mission is to help benefit from the human genome, and research is an important part of that mission. Here are some highlights. The purpose of 23andMe research is to make new discoveries about genetics and other factors behind diseases and traits. If you agree to this consent, you allow 23andMe researchers to use certain information, including your genetic information and your responses to research surveys. To protect your privacy, 23andMe conducts research with information that has been stripped of your name and contact information and combined with similar information from many research participants. Some 23andMe research is conducted in collaboration with third parties, such as nonprofits, which are super sketchy, pharmaceutical companies, which is pharmakia, sorceries, or academic institutions. You know, like Yale and Harvard, or might I even say MIT, where they can learn to mix your DNA with technology, iron, and clay. We may share summaries of research results which do not identify any particular individual. It is unlikely that you will directly benefit from your participation, though you and others may benefit in the future from discoveries that lead to healthcare advances and improvements. There is a small risk that someone could get access to your personal information without your permission in the event of a privacy breach. Okay? Look, there is a small risk that someone could get access to your personal information. But wait, didn't they just say right here? To protect your privacy, the information has been stripped of your name and contact. So then how can they get the information if your name's been stripped? I mean, if you can't tell these people are lying, then you have bigger problems than I can help you with. So, one of the things they're going to do, I will cover in this. So you can see that 23 pairs of chromosomes. So that's what they say. Okay, that's their cover story. But I told you what 23andMe is for. Founded in 2006, that's 2 6s, 66, 23andMe soon became the first company to begin offering autosomal DNA testing for ancestry. Okay, it was called the Invention of the Year by Time in 2008. That's 2 8s, 88. At the time of doing this article, you can see that it was April 2006, which was 18 years ago. April is IV, 4. 2 6s, 66, Apollo. 18 is 666. Hope you guys are with me. Investment documents from 2007 also suggest that 23andMe hoped to develop a database to pursue research efforts. 2 7s, 77. That's 9/11. In 2007, Google invested $3.9 million in the company. 3.9. That's 3 9s or 3 6s. Google, as I've shown in many other videos, is Lucifer's company. That's his technology company, Google. Okay, that's why their Play Store logo is the symbol of Lucifer's sigil. That's why Chrome is a logo of 666. So they invested in this company to collect your DNA. What on earth would Google want to do with your DNA? Well, Satan is making a search. He's hunting people down. And he needs you all to spit in a cup and send it to this company. Wojcicki and Google co-founder Sergey Brin were married at the time. So she's one of the founders. There were 3 founders, right? 3 unclean spirits like frogs. So, in 2012, 23andMe raised $50 in Series D venture round, almost doubling the capital of $52.6 million. That's 58. In 2015, they raised $115 million. 11 times 5, 55. That's Satan. Increasing capital to $241 million. 4 and 1 is 5. That's 2 5s. 55. In September 2017, it was rumored the company was raising another $200 million with a $1.5 billion valuation. 1.5 is 15. That's 555, which is 666. As of the time, the company had raised $230 million since its inception. 23. Now, this is what I wanted to show you, but I had to get through the other stuff first. On July 25th, 2018, 23andMe announced a partnership. July 25th, that's 7/7. 7/7 is 7/11. That's 9/11. In the year 18, that's 666. I hope you guys can see the wickedness I'm showing you here. 23andMe announced a partnership with GlaxoSmithKline to allow the pharmaceutical company to use test results from 5 million companies to design new drugs. GlaxoSmithKline invested $300 million in the company in January 2022. This partnership was extended until 7/23 with an additional $50 million payment from GlaxoSmithKline. July 7, that's 223, right? 322. 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. See? 77. You see what's happening? I hope you guys see this stuff. And it's also 7 for July 23. That's 237. 57. Which stands for 5G and look at your screen. This is what they were creating. So, they made a partnership with GlaxoSmithKline and allowed the pharmaceutical company to use the test results from 5 million customers to design new drugs. And I just want to add in here while I'm editing this video that with 6 degrees of separation, that covers quite a bit of people. You know, with this biobanking consent form and this research consent form, which you automatically enroll in when you spit in a cup. In January 2020, 23andMe announced it would lay off about 100 of its employees. So in the midst of this partnership, right after COVID came around, they decided that they were going to lay people off. And then in July of that same year, 2020, 23andMe and GlaxoSmithKline announced their partnership's first clinical trial, a joint asset being co-developed by the two companies for cancer treatment. If you've seen my 3 Days of Darkness video, which I'll put on the cover on the screen right now, then you will have seen that I Am Legend, that whole zombie apocalypse, started because they created a cure for cancer. Now, ever since the Vidco came around, right, and people started getting the medicine, the cancer rate skyrocketed. And now, this company has developed a cure. So here in 2018, they partnered up using the test results of all these people who sent their DNA in to design new drugs like the medicine that everyone was taking, and then the cancer rate went up. And then they invented a cancer treatment. Do you not see Apollo all over this? The bringer of the sickness and the cure. So in the intro to this movie, there's a news cast going on where a doctor is being interviewed about curing cancer. And so I've taken a few clips from it, so we're going to cover a piece at a time, and then we will cover some websites and pick it all apart.
Take something designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it.
Okay, so this is talking about CRISPR technology. If you don't know what CRISPR is, it's just a gene editing software. So that's really excelled a lot of scary things going on in this day and age. But what they're reprogramming is this.
You're talking about a virus?
Indeed, yes, in this case, the measles virus, which has been engineered at a genetic level.
They're talking about using CRISPR to gene edit the measles and use it as a cure for cancer. Well, this goes into our timeline. Here you can see at the Mayo Clinic, that the measles virus-based immunoviral therapy in the treatment of metastatic breast cancer. Here's another National Library of Medicine, the NIH, talking about a measles virus for cancer therapy. Okay, this is happening right now.
So you have actually cured cancer?
Yes. Yes, we have.
So, they say that they have hardwired the measles. They've gene edited the measles to cure cancer. Well, just a few days ago, on December 13th, this article came out. Positive Moderna Merck cancer vaccine data advances mRNA promise, shares rise. Moderna says personalized mRNA cancer vaccine is effective for advanced melanoma. Moderna's mRNA cancer vaccine shows promise in preliminary studies. So they're actually doing what was in this movie from 2007. Now, this date here, December 13th, is exactly 15 years from when this movie was released. It's the 15-year anniversary. And this was the largest box office ever for a non-Christmas film released in the U.S. in December. So exactly 15 years after this movie came out. It says here, after a virus which was originally created to cure cancer has wiped out most of mankind. So, the medicine was worse than the disease. Just like what's happening today. And exactly 15 years to the day, what happened in this movie is happening now. So on the stock market, it trades as ME. M is 13. E is 5. ME, that's 18. 6, 6, 6. I told you that ME was Satan. 23 and Satan. I put this on slow motion. I'm also going to add music to it, so you can pause this section of the video and rewind it if you need to, but just make sure that you see the compilation that's been put together here, because this is important information. Sometimes things just catch your eye, like this ad, which was actually I saw on a commercial, but I looked it up to get the web page, and then the ad I'll show you after this. So I saw this, it was one of those ads on YouTube, I believe, trying to get you to take some pills or whatever, and I saw that it said first IL-23I that can blah blah blah. I was only interested in this 23I, right? Wherever I see an I definitely always got to pay attention. Like iPhone, the little I in the new variant, Flirt. You know what I mean? You got to look and see what it's about. So the 23 was intriguing. So I came here to look, because this medicine literally is 23. And even if you add the I to it, it's 32, which is 23 backward. I is also the number 9, which is the number of the beast. And their symbol, you'll see, is an infinity loop, right? An 8, Ouroboros. But there's more than one, right? 80, 8. 2 on this end, it looks like. 3 on this end. So, I decided to do the numerical value for Skyreezy. So I'll do it here for you guys. S K Y R I Z I. 7-11. Okay? That's 9/11. With the logo of the Ouroboros, the 88, the portal. So here's your portal to Apollo into 23 spiritual possession. 23, I might as well say 23 and me. Just one of those little extra things that I caught. Dr. Pepper, 23 spices. They got a 23 right on the can. Doctor is 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. Put that in your memory bank. Pepper is 76. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 4 is 17. 17 is Q, the spirit of Antichrist, bringing you into the Dr. Pepper that has 23 flavors. This is crazy, you guys. This is a carbonated soft drink, which was created in the 1880s. 188. 18 is 666, and 8 is a portal, by pharmacist Charles Alderton. Charles is 66. Alderton is 89, which is 8 plus 9, 17. So here you have 66, Apollo, and the spirit of Antichrist, who is a pharmacist, pharmakia, sorcery, in the 1880s. Not only that, but it was in Waco, Texas, and first served around 1885, which they put right here, established 1885. 18, 666, 58. The rise of the Antichrist, pharmakia, Q, demonic possession. All right, this is crazy. This is just a soda, you guys. Dr. Pepper is said to be in a category of its own kind called pepper soda, named for the brand. So it's in a category of all of its own, number 23. Isn't that interesting? Dr. Pepper is the 4th IV highest selling carbonated soft drink in the United States and the 6th highest selling in the United Kingdom. Demonic. It was formulated by a Brooklyn-born pharmacist. So he's right out of Brooklyn, which is the city of Babylon, New York City. This sorcery merchant, whose name is Apollo, the spirit of Antichrist, created this in Morrison's Old Corner drugstore in Waco, Texas, to test his new drink. He first offered it to store owner Wade Morrison, who also found it to his liking. Patrons at Morrison's soda fountain soon learned of Alderton's new drink and began ordering a Waco. Y'all know what happened in Waco. Alderton gave the formula to Morrison, who named it Dr. Pepper, later stylized as Dr. Pepper. Early advertisements for the soft drink made medical claims stating that it aids in digestion and restores vim, vigor, vitality. V, V, V. 666. Oh my goodness. You can't make this stuff up. This is on a level all its own, you guys. Here's the nutritional values. 12, that's 66 fluid ounces, is 355 milliliters. That's 58. Energy, 15, that's 555. 666, or 630, which is 3 sixes. Carbohydrates, 40. That's for IV. Do you see what's happening here? I hope so, because this is demonic. And I used to love Dr. Pepper. This was like one of my favorite sodas. This and Moxie. I loved Moxie too. Moxie I really enjoyed because nobody would ever ask you for a sip. Sodium, 55 milligrams. 55, that's Satan. Now let's check out this Dr. Pepper ad from 1913. Okay, 19, there's your Metonic cycle. 13, that's 5 plus 8, 58. Here is Dr. Pepper, king of beverages. Look what they call it. Liquid sunshine, right? Helios, Apollo worship, Lucifer worship, Ra worship, the sun god worshippers. Liquid sunshine. Okay? That's like saying you drink your possession. It's the king of beverages. Remember, Dr. Pepper comes out to 17 for Q. Scientists tell us that all space is an ocean. Isn't that interesting? Because that's exactly what the Bible says. The second day, God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. The waters which are above from the waters which are below." So here's the firmament where all the stars are. And outside of the stars, which NASA says is space, is the ocean, right? Just like this ad says. Scientists tells us that all space is an ocean of ether in which our solar system swims, and that all life, animal and vegetable, is derived from the sun's energy transmitted to our planet by this ether. Ether is the power of the air. Satan is the prince of the power of the air. The sun is what they are referring to. Plant life organizes this energy for us in nature's laboratory. As animals, we then partake of nature's bountiful store and the sun's energy. Certain fruits, nuts, sugarcane represent this energy and vitality best. We have found this great natural law, and we combine these substances with distilled water. The name we give our combination is Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is liquid sunlight. As the sun rules and governs the day, so should you govern your appetite. Eat and drink to build up the cells that are broken down by fatigue, mental or physical. Drink a beverage that promotes cell building, not one that simply deadens the sensory nerves. Drink Dr. Pepper, solar energy, liquid sunshine, vim, vigor, vitality. That is what Dr. Pepper means. Try it. On sale at all fountains and bottles. It's made in Texas. Its profits are spent in Texas to promote Texas industries. So they're straight up telling you, this is the drink of sun worshippers. If you drink it, you will be possessed with spirit. It's solar energy liquid sun, and it produces 666. That's what Dr. Pepper means. Yeah. 17. The spirit of Antichrist. You guys, this is crazy. When I started looking into this stuff, I couldn't even believe what I was reading. Liquid sunshine. In 1999, take the 1,000 years away, that's 999 or 666. This band called Blink 182 released a track called What's My Age Again, which we will go through the lyrics in a minute. It is about spiritual possession and mentions the number 23. What's My Age Again is a song by American rock band Blink-182. It was released in April 1999 as the lead single from the group's third studio album, Enema of the State. It was originally titled Peter Pan Complex. Peter Pan, so this is an Antichrist figure, Peter Pan. They always mix Peter with some form of the devil. This is why we have Peter Pan or Pete's Dragon. Okay, they're always trying to mix Peter because Peter is the rock on which Christ built his church. The song was placed at number 3 in Italy and number 17 in the United Kingdom. 17. Primarily an airplay hit, the song was the band's first to cross over to pop radio, hitting number 58 on the Billboard Hot 100, The Rise of the Antichrist. The song received positive reviews and has been called a classic punk track. NME placed it at number 117 on its list of the 150 best tracks of the past 15 years in 2012. 7-11. Okay, you see what's happening here? Now let's go check out the lyrics to this song. So they may not be completely appropriate, but they're not too bad. But a lot of you, I'm sure, have heard this song before. But as I'm looking at this, I realized it was released on April 13th, which is 44, right? Obama, who's going to be possessed, filled with the spirit of Satan. Very interesting. So it says, I took her out. It was a Friday night. I wore cologne to get the feeling right. We started making out, and she took off my pants, but then I turned on the TV, and that's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23. And are still more amused by TV shows. What the hell is ADD? My friends say I should act my age. What's my age again? What's my age again? So, I don't know if you can see what's happening here, but I'm sure some of you do, but I will explain it anyways. He's having a date, and he turns on his TV and starts to become possessed, right? And that's the time she walked away from him, because he turned on the TV, so he started becoming possessed. Now he says nobody likes you when you're 23. He's not talking about his age. He's talking about being possessed, okay? Being under spiritual possession. Nobody likes you when you're possessed, because he's talking about what the hell is ADD? That's possession, okay? It's a type of spiritual possession. All mental illness is a type of spiritual possession, whether you want to admit it or not. That's what it is. And then he says, my friends say I should act my age. What's my age again? So if he was actually 23, he would know, because he just said nobody likes you when you're 23. But because he says, what's my age again? What's my age again? He's telling you that this is not a reference to his age. It's a reference to spiritual possession. Verse 2 says, then later on the drive home, I called her mom from a payphone. I said I was the cops and your husband's in jail. The state looks down on sodomy. And that's about the time that hung up on me. Nobody likes you when you're 23 and are still more amused by prank phone calls. What the hell is call ID? So, completely doing something demonic, right? Calling someone's mother, telling them the husband's in jail for sodomy, and then saying nobody likes you when you're 23. Another reference to spiritual possession. What's my age again? What's my age again? Then he breaks off talking about nobody likes you when you're 23. Then it says, and that's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23 and you still act like you're in freshman year. What the hell is wrong with me? Right? Hell is a good question. 'Cause that's what's wrong with you, spiritual possessions. My friends say I should act my age. What's my age again? That's about the time she broke up with me. No one should take themselves so seriously. With many years ahead to fall in line, why would you wish that on me? Okay, this is those people who say, oh, well, I'll just repent like crazy on my deathbed later.
Why can't I worship the Lord in my own way, by praying like hell on my deathbed?
Right? No one should take themselves so seriously with many years ahead to fall in line. Why would you wish that on me? Rejecting salvation, choosing Satan as their father, as their God. I never want to act my age. What's my age again? What's my age again? Now, if you want to think that he's talking about his age, let me just show you this. And I'll show you that when they're talking about 23, they're talking about spiritual possession. We're going to do the numerical value for blink. B-L-I-N-K. 48. Okay? 4-8. Watch this. 4 plus 8 plus 1 plus 8 plus 2 equals 23. So blink 182 is 23. It's about selling your soul to the devil, making Satan your father. Nobody likes you when you're possessed. I hope you guys can see what I'm showing you, because this is nuts. All these connections are absolutely insane. So this stuff just keeps coming in. I have no idea why this video popped up on my YouTube feed, but I took it as a sign that I should watch it once. Because if you'll notice how long it is, it's 3:22. That's Skull and Bones. Okay? It's called Lunch. Now, this is an absolutely disgusting and disturbing video, and I would not suggest that any of you watch it. I watched it so you don't have to. So the video starts with just this little blip here that says no link 5,710 megahertz. Okay, no link is 75, which is 57 backwards, 5G. And down here you have 5 and 7 plus 1 is 8, 58. So here you have 5G bringing us into the time of the Antichrist. Now, she wears many outfits. If it is indeed a she, who knows? Only God knows. But you can see here that there is a 32, which is 23. This hat that she or it or him, whatever it is wearing, is Michael Jordan, who we all know is famous for wearing number 23. And I did a video about him and Tom Brady a while back called The GOAT. So if you want, you can check that out. But I just figured I would add this in as I'm making this video, and I'm just about to publish it. I wanted to add this little bit in there because it was brought to my attention. So I decided to make it part of the video because it fit right in with everything we're talking about. Here is the Wikipedia page for the number 23 movie. The number 23 is a 2007 American thriller film written by Fernley Phillips and directed by Joel Schumacher. His 23rd film. How interesting, his 23rd film is the number 23. In 2007, that can be looked at as 27, 77, 711, or it could be looked at as 72, which is 66 plus 6. Jim Carrey stars as a man who becomes obsessed with the 23 Enigma once he reads about it in a strange book that seemingly mirrors his own life, right? It's all about the mirror dimension, the shadow realm, right? The mirror realm. That's why the numbers can be used forward and backwards. And we'll check out the 23 Enigma page after, but first we gotta cover this. The film was released in the United States on February 23rd, 2007. So here you have February 23rd of Schumacher's 23rd film, the number 23. 72, which is 666, 66 plus 6, and 322, which is Skull and Bones. Release date, which we just covered. The running time, 98 minutes. 9 plus 8 is 17. That's Q, the spirit of the Antichrist, which will possess you. Here you can see the budget was $30 million. The box office is $77.6 million. 7 plus 7 plus 6 plus 3 is, you guessed it, 23. Now, I'm not going to cover all this page with you because I have movie clips and still images from the movie, which I'll be covering in depth, so there's really no point in reading it to you. So let's check out the 23 Enigma. The 23 Enigma is a belief in the significance of the number 23. The concept of the 23 Enigma has been popularized by various books, movies, conspiracy theories, which suggest that the number 23 appears with unusual frequency in various contexts and may be a symbol of some larger hidden significance. A topic related to the 23 Enigma is icositrophobia, which is the fear of the number 23. Robert Anton Wilson cites William S. Burroughs as the first person to believe in the 23 Enigma. Wilson, in a 1977 article, Fortean Times, related the following anecdote. I first heard of the 23 Enigma from William S. Burroughs, author of Naked Lunch, Nova Express, etc. According to Burroughs, he had known a Captain Clark, that's CC 33, around 1960 in Tangier, who once bragged that he had been sailing 23 years without accident. That very day, Clark's ship had an accident that killed him and everybody else aboard. Furthermore, while Burroughs was thinking about this crude example of the irony of the gods that evening, a bulletin on the radio announced the crash of an airliner in Florida, USA. The pilot was another Captain Clark, and the flight was Flight 23. So this is where they say it began. I'm sure it began way before this because it's all about spiritual possession, and Satan and his minions have been possessing people forever. The 23 Enigma can be seen in Robert Anton Wilson and Robert Shea's 1975 book, The Illuminatus Trilogy, therein called the 2317 Phenomenon. Isn't it interesting? 23, right? Demonic possession. 17, Q, the spirit of Antichrist. How ironic. Wilson's 1977 book, Cosmic Trigger, The Final Secret of the Illuminati, therein called the Law of Fives, right? 5, that's V. That's Lucifer's letter. That's Lucifer's number. And 5 is 2 plus 3, or the 23 Enigma. How interesting that it says Illuminati for these first two examples. Author Kostler's contribution to The Challenge of Chance, a mass experiment in telepathy and its unexpected outcome. Principia Discordia. The text title Principia Discordia claims that all things happen in fives, or are divisible by or multiples of 5, or somehow directly, indirectly appropriate to 5. This is referred to as the law of fives. The 23 Enigma is regarded as a corollary of the law of fives because 2 plus 3 equals 5. In these works, 23 is considered lucky, unlucky, sinister, strange, sacred to the goddess Eris, or sacred to the unholy gods of Cthulhu mythos. So, isn't this interesting? In these works, 23 is considered lucky, unlucky, strange, sacred to the goddess Eris. Where have I heard that name before? Oh, yes. I was discussing this on the new show, This Just In, I'm doing with Franz, about the new COVID strain called Flirt. I did a video a while back on this strain, Eris, which if you read backwards is sire, which means to give birth to. And if you read EG 5 backwards, it says 5G, sire, to give birth to 5G, Eris. How interesting that 5G is 57, and so is this word. So Eris, the sire of 5G, 57, this word, is also considered to be the goddess of 23. Do you not find that disturbing? How interesting. And people think that that stuff is not all about possession. People think these numbers don't matter. This is why people who call themselves Christians yet don't know the truth of the devil's weapons fall into his traps. They become ensnared because they want to write things like this off. Like, oh, the numbers don't matter. There's no value in learning about this stuff. You're just teaching numerology. It's demonic, the things you're teaching. No. Look at all the connections that are made through these numbers. If it wasn't for these numbers, so many of these connections would never be made. Okay, this is how the enemy works. This is important to understand. Should you study numerology? Absolutely not. And if you're not called to do this, I wouldn't mess with it at all. Okay? I'm called to do this. There is a protection over me, and the Holy Spirit is my guide. I don't look into this stuff. He shows it to me, and I show it to you. Not so you can get into it, but so that you can be aware of it, so that you are not ignorant of Satan's devices. And if this connection doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. These are the still shots that I took throughout the movie. So this is his animal control 10th annual Christmas party. So you can see 7 plus 8 plus 7 plus 1 is 23. In this scene, he is an animal control guy and he's trying to get a dog. And you can see right here on this box, there is a triangle with a 5 in it. So this triangle is 180 degrees. Okay? Every triangle is made up of 180 degrees no matter what it looks like. So that's 18 plus the 5 that's in the triangle is 23. Not only that, but the 5 itself is a 2, 3, and the 18 is a 6, 6, 6. So no matter how you look at this, it is completely wicked. This is the dog he's trying to capture outside in that alley where the triangle was. His collar says Ned, as that's his name. Ned is 23. Now this one is kind of crazy. Agatha is his wife. This is her store. Agatha's. Agatha's is 57, which is 5G, which is also this word that I cannot say. And it is located at 698, which is 23. So you can see here that getting this will connect you to this so that you will become this. See what I'm saying? Toy chest, 115. That's 11 times 5, that's 55. That's Satan. If you add up toys, games, trains, hobbies, and books, it is 327. The cage of the beast, 23 is 5, and 7 is G. 5G. Satan. Both of these stores are paths to demonic possession. So as she's waiting to meet him for his birthday party, she goes to this used bookstore called A Novel Fate, located at $5.99. $5.99 is 23. A Novel Fate is 101. So here's your doorway to the Antichrist through spiritual possession. Now, when she's in this store, she sees this book, the number 23. 23 is possession. It is in the store, which came out to 101, A Novel Fate, which is the door to the Antichrist. In Agatha's, which we saw in her building, 57, which also is the numerical value for this, 5G, and this medicine, her last name is Sparrow, 101, and the gift is 23, so she's going to give her husband 23 through the doorway of Agatha. This is introduced to possess her husband, all happening inside of store 101. I hope that you guys are seeing what I'm showing to you, because this is absolutely crazy revelations. The book is written by Topsy Kretz. Topsy Kretz is 188. 18 is 666, and 8 is the portal. Portal to Satan. His son gives him a cup that says Father of the Year. Father of the Year comes out to 161. That's 11 times 6, 66. That's Apollo being called the Father of the Year with a golden cup of abominations. The character's name in the book is Fingerling. That's what Topsy Kretz calls himself in the book. Fingerling. Fingerling is 101. This is the book, the number 23. Fingerling is the doorway to the spiritual possession of 23. The steps to heaven equals 202. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4, Roman numeral, is IV. This is also the number of Hermes. You'll remember from many videos. There are 23 steps in this staircase, which he later finds a body buried in. So you have an IV of 23 which are the steps to heaven, according to this demonic movie. Here, you can see 2305 on the cash register. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 55 is Satan. So this cash register says Satan. Very interesting to break this down, because if you say 23 is spiritual possession, so 23 is 55. Satan. You think that's an accident? This is the demonic kingdom at work in our faces. Here you can see the clock says 9:14. 9 plus 14 is 23. Here you can see his desk says Dr. Miles Phoenix. We all know the Phoenix, right? Rising from the ashes. Dr. Miles Phoenix is 171, which is 7/11, which is 9/11. For new viewers, Septa for September actually means 7. So that is why 7 and 9 can be used interchangeably in this manner. Here we have 110 Lucky Pawn Shop. 101. That's the door to the Antichrist. 11 plus 12 is 23. Laura Tollins is 154, which is 55, because 1 and 4 is 5. That's the numerical value of Satan. Born and died exactly 23 years. In this we see the portal to Satan. Here's your portal, 8, in February 2 and 3, 23. Portal. This movie is so jam-packed, it's unbelievable. Top Secrets, I already showed you, that's 18 and 8. P.O. Box, that's 72. 72 is 66 plus 6. 977 is 23. West Highland is 115, which is 11 times 5, 55. Satan, USA is 41, which is 14 backwards, which is 77. 7 plus 7 is 14. 77 is also what 61007 is. 77 is 7 times 11. 711, which is 911, which Revelation 9:11 says the king of the bottomless pit is Apollyon. Here is his case from when he was in the mental ward. Sparrow W. Sparrow is 101. So here's your doorway to W, demonic possession. Case number 57, it equals 5G, 85307, 23. So here you have your doorway, which is 57, which is 5G, which is also the medicine bringing you into demonic possession. You guys, you can't make this stuff up. Seriously, you can't. So obviously we have 023, that's pretty obvious. But 5HJ. H is 8, J is 10. 5 plus 8 plus 10, 23. So this has two 23s, which we could also look at as 55. Satan. This truck is an International. He almost hit Ned. International is 152. That's 8. This is their portal. Ned, we know, is 23. 9 plus 6 plus 8 is 23. T is 20, C is 3, 23. 215, that's 23. I hope you guys can see how the enemy uses this stuff. This is so in your face. So in your face. And it's all throughout this movie. If these numbers didn't mean anything, why would they do this? Just ask yourself that question. Why would they do this? God says, my people perish from lack of knowledge. Bible says we are not to be ignorant of Satan's devices. We are told to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. How are you going to be wise as a serpent? Well, you have to know how to think like a serpent to be as wise as a serpent, don't you? So this is why we have to expose how the enemy works so that people can learn and understand how the enemy works. I'm not telling you to do numerology. I'm telling you to be aware of these devices. And when you see things like this, to be aware that you are under attack by the enemy and that you need to put your spiritual armor on and keep it on because the enemy is looking to break you down. This is how the masses stay asleep. I don't know exactly how these numbers work, and I never will, because I'm not part of the demonic kingdom, and I'm not interested in finding out. All I can tell you is that they work. If they didn't, then they wouldn't bother doing it. But this is important. It has something to do with the subconscious. This is why you need to be aware of it, because when you're aware of something, it is less likely to be able to penetrate into your subconscious because you're catching it. But if you are asleep to Satan's devices, then they will hit home 100% of the time. This is why the Bible says to be wise as serpents. Know thy enemy. The better you know your enemy, the better you can defend against their attacks. Well, that's the presentation. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to check the link in the description below for the movie portion of this video that I could not put on YouTube. I hope that you guys are more aware of how these numbers are used, and I'm sure that you can see that these numbers truly do mean something. They are a weapon of the enemy, and it's important that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. God says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Okay, this is how they cast spells on the sleeping masses, through this hidden language of numbers. Because words can mean other words. Just because they're saying one thing doesn't mean that they're not casting a spell on you with some other words, with the intent of their hearts. So we have to be aware of these things. Once again, as always, I will say, do not study numerology. Do not get into this stuff. The numbers I'm showing you are so that you can be aware, so that when you see these things, you can open your eyes and just keep your eyes out and use spiritual discernment and just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what you're looking at. Be aware of what you're reading. Understand that where these numbers are, there's deception and spell casting happening. Okay? Because the devil owns the media. Doesn't matter what kind of media it is. Newspaper, comic book, TV news, movies, radio, you name it. Satan owns all of it, and they're all his puppets. Okay, the whole world is a stage, and Satan is the conductor. So just keep these things in mind and be aware, because we are headed into darkness, and the more we can know, the better. So until next time, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Be safe out there. The world is getting dark, and we are the light. Take care.